This is Orchid with Doglu, and I'll try to show you a case where I implanted an Acriva Toric, a Toric IOL with plate haptic from the VSY Biotechnology. This video is taken from the live surgery symposium. I first go and put little marks with a 25 gauge needle. Then I touch the marking pen and touch the marks again. This way, the marks do not fade. Alternatively, you can dry the place you're going to mark with a wet cell sponge and it will not fade as well. This way, many times I catch my mistakes. So you can always go ahead and then double check the angle for the best results on the slit lamp. In routine cases, I usually prefer 5.5, but this time I prefer a 5.0, about 5.0 millimeter capsular axis, because I like the anterior capsule fully covering the anterior face of the plate haptic IOL. Then I do my stab incisions and inject a fair amount of viscoelastic and do my main incision. I like 3-planar. You can do whatever you like. Then I like to inject some viscoelastic as well, more than that. And after my first snake, I like to do a fairly round capsular axis. I try to be really careful about that. If you have a better capsular axis, then you will have a better centration with any kind of IOL, but particularly with these. Then I do my hydro. You can always go ahead and then get the lens material out with the technique you would prefer. And once I take it out, then I check my wounds. Just be careful, do not leave anything behind. I like to inject OVD without taking my irrigation tip, and I don't fully fill the bag. Then I'll fill some BSS under the OVD, which will help me to remove my OVD after I inject my IOL. Then I turn my attention to the IOL. I do everything under microscope, but you can do whatever you like. Then I fill some OVD into the cartridge and also to the grooves. Try not to overfill the cartridge. And also you can use some BSS to dilute the OVD. Then I hold the holder with my index finger and my thumb, and I just press it vertically. That way it's easier to get and hold the IOL. Once you have the IOL, make sure of the orientation. The leading haptic should have the hole on the left hand side as you see it over here, and the trailing should have the hole on the right. Just make sure of that. Then your forceps, just from the middle, just press it slightly, and then you close the forceps and also close the flaps of the cartridge, and just hear a click sound over here. Then your cartridge is ready for injection. We fill the injector from the front part. You just put it, and then after until you hear a click sound. And it's always good to put some OVD from the back, just a little bit to fill it. That way there will be no air and it will move easily. Then we are ready for the IOL injection. I always like to use some wound-assisted technique. Just try to be gentle once you see the IOL is coming out. What usually happens is the leading haptic goes into the back and the trailing haptic is over the sulcus. But it's very easy to implant the IOL. I only use my IAT to do that. And you just press it over the haptic and then a little bit turn it and IOL inside. It's extremely easy to implant this IOL. Then I always go backwards of the IOL and take out OVD as much as I can. Don't leave anything behind. And you can just rotate the IOL just with your eye aid. When there's almost no OVD, I like to use this by manual technique. That way I can rotate it faster and try not to hurt the bag. Don't damage the bag with this by manual technique. And once I feel it's in the right position, I take my aspiration tip out and then hydrate the wound. Try not to lose any AC, so I get a 25 gauge needle and just insert it over my stab incision, over my irrigation, and then inject some BSS. That way it's healed and I almost don't lose any AC. That way the IOL does not rotate. It's very important you have a firm pressure. And it's done. You're ready for 2020 vision.